guys, Brother Enoch here, just making a quick video about Nyarlathotep by H.P. Lovecraft. Um, it's well known that Lovecraft had bizarre dreams and nightmares, and that he used the dream characters and situations in his writing. In 1921, Lovecraft wrote in a letter to Reinhard Kleiner about a nightmare. About this nightmare, he wrote, "It was the most realistic and horrible I have experienced since the age of 10. It appears that Lovecraft wrote at least the first paragraph of Nyarlathotep before he was even awake. From the quotes that I've read so far, I'm not sure exactly what state he was in order to do that. There are suggestions that he was in a hypnopompic state, but that would imply hallucination and not writing. If anyone could provide a link to the letter in its entirety, I'd be very grateful. Now, a few years ago, I went to write a dream down in a dream journal, only to find that there was writing already in the journal. And as I struggled to read what was written, because it was a very confused handwriting over the lines and sideways and whatnot, I began to remember the dream that was captured in the writing. Then I remembered how it was written. I wrote it in the dark, upside down, with my arm over the edge of the bed. How I even knew that it was touching the journal, I don't know. Anyway, it wasn't exactly automatic writing because I was actually thinking the words that I wanted to write in my half-awake state. But it wasn't normal writing either because I couldn't produce that kind of writing in those conditions if I were fully awake. Now, I've been told that communication from some spirits also appears this way. Nyarlathotep in the story is a prophet, a human prophet of the alien gods. As it says in the story, "And it was then that Nyarlathotep came out of Egypt. Who he was none could tell, but he was of the old native blood and looked like a pharaoh. He said he had risen up out of the blackness of 27 centuries, and that he had heard messages from places not on this planet." So he was a resurrected ancient Egyptian prophet of alien gods. Now, this prophet of our cosmic apocalypse, as Lovecraft is rewriting the apocalypse and resurrection, he's a resurrected servant of the alien gods, just as Cthulhu is an alien servant of the alien gods who will also be resurrected. As it's written, "That is not dead, which may eternal lie." He had heard messages from places not on this planet, and what was thrown on a screen in the darkened room prophesied things none but Nyarlathotep dared prophesy. "And I heard it hinted abroad that those who knew Nyarlathotep looked on sights which others saw not." Now, I'd like to look at this little quote from Nyarlathotep. "There was a demoniac alteration in the sequence of the seasons. The autumn heat lingered fearsomely, and everyone felt that the world and perhaps the universe had passed from the control of known gods or forces to that of gods or forces which were unknown." Now this is a description, possibly the first description of the strange eons that the Necronomicon speaks of whenever the gods return. In a later quote of the Necronomicon that Lovecraft gives, you see that you have this "after summer is winter and after winter is summer." This is once again a description of the time when our world's end comes about and these resurrections happen. Nyarlathotep is not a great literary creation. The short story isn't, but it's an interesting anecdote in Lovecraft's life. It's a very disturbing psychic event for him, very disturbing nightmare and possible emergence of trance phenomena. I'm not sure if there was automatic writing or not, but the idea that he was writing the dream conscious or unconscious while still having the dream going on around him, that's something I've only experienced a couple times in my life, but it's it is something to pay attention to, especially for people who don't believe that Lovecraft might have had any form of psychic influence, or even just been more in touch with his subconscious, where these concepts were coming from. Anyway, please rate and comment on this video, and I'll post more soon, hopefully, if I get around to converting and uploading. And just wanted to say before I go that the picture here that was in the first frame of the presentation, that's Dan Harrod, and he played Nyarlathotep in a short film by Christian Matsky, and go ahead and check that out. And I'll see you all later.